Okay, so in this triangle, it's asking what is the ratio for cosine of angle C. So something to have memorized are these ratios. Sine of an angle is equal to, let me blow that up. Sine of an angle is equal to the opposite side length divided by the hypotenuse side length. Cosine of an angle is equal to the adjacent side length divided by the hypotenuse side length. And tangent of an angle is equal to the opposite side length divided by the adjacent side length. So, one way to remember this is a mnemonic device called SOHCAHTOA. S stands for sine, the O stands for the opposite side length, H stands for hypotenuse side length. C stands for the cosine, A stands for the adjacent side length, and H stands for the hypotenuse side length. TOA, T stands for the tangent, the O stands for the opposite side length, and A stands for the adjacent side length. So that's just a short trick to help you remember what the ratios are for sine, cosine, and tangent. So now they're asking us for what the ratio of cosine of angle C is. So they want to know cosine of C in this triangle. So the first question I'm asking myself is, well, what is the opposite side, adjacent side, and the hypotenuse side? And I have to know how to label that on this triangle. How we know what the opposite side and the adjacent side length is based on the angle they give us. They're asking us based on angle C. So angle C is how I'm going to be labeling. It's my perspective of the side lengths. So the first side length that I always label is the hypotenuse, which is always across, it's the longest one, and it's always across from the 90-degree angle. So 52, or side length BC, is the hypotenuse side length. Always across from the 90-degree angle. The next one that's the easiest for me is based off of my angle. I look directly across. That is the opposite side length. So 48 is the opposite side length. So side length AB is the opposite side length of my angle. The last one is the adjacent. Adjacent means next to. And as you can tell, this side length right here is right next to our angle C. So that's our adjacent side length. So now that I have my triangle labeled based off of the angle it gave us, we think back, okay, what is the cosine of C? It is the ratio of the adjacent side length. So the adjacent side length is 20 divided by the ratio of the hypotenuse, which was 52. So now it says enter your answer as a fraction in simplest form. So then I'm asking myself, can 20 divided by 52 be reduced? And the first thing that I'm noticing is this ends in a 0 and this ends in a 2. So my gut instinct is that 2 can go into both of them. So we have 20 and 52. 20 can be broken down into 2 and 10. And 52 can be broken down into 2 and 26. So 2 times 26 gives us 52, and 2 times 10 gives us 20. So when we have 20 divided by 52, I could rewrite 20 as 2 times 10. And I can rewrite 52 as 2 times 26. any number divided by itself can be reduced down to 1. So that actually just leaves us with 10 divided by 26. And then I'm going to ask myself again, okay, 10 ends in a 0, 26 ends in a 6, so they're both even. That means 2 goes into them. So 10 can be rewritten as 2 times 5. 26 can be rewritten as 2 times 13. So when I rewrite this, I could rewrite 10 as 2 times 5. And 26 I can rewrite as 2 times 13. And since 2 divided by 2 can reduce down to 1, I'm left with simplest form is 5/13. And I can verify that. If I started with 20 divided by 52, 20 divided by 52, that equals 0.3846. So I want to make sure that 5 divided by 13 gives me this same decimal. So 5 divided by 13 is equal to 0.3846, which was what we had. So when you enter in your answer, the simplest form is 5 divided by 13. I hope that helps.